I could talk about footwork mistakes all day long, but there are 7 deadly sins when it comes to footwork. Like things that you're probably doing quite a few of them. Professional fighters do them. Championship fighters do them. You're probably doing at least 3 or 4 of these things. They're really bad. Mostly it comes from the fact that people don't even understand what the purpose of footwork is. The purpose of footwork is to make the next thing you do easier. So if something you're doing with your feet doesn't serve that purpose, you shouldn't do it. Which, by the way, if you didn't know, footwork is the most important part of all combat. Your position relative to your opponent is the most important thing. The 7 deadly sins are meandering, lumbering, galloping, loitering, lust, bloviation, and acquiescence. If the purpose of footwork is to make the next thing you do easier, everything you do with your feet should serve that purpose. For example, if I want to stay close with my opponent and box with him, doing this, then this doesn't help me do that. Stepping here and then here does. It gets me out of the way of his strike and keeps me in position to strike myself because I remain present, threatening, and dangerous instead of out of position and taking time to put myself back together. That piece of footwork is called the meta step. We just did an advanced footwork guide. It's completely free. There's a link in the description below. But let's get into the errors. The worst, most egregious one that makes me the most angry is meandering. Don't be a Neanderthal. Everyone does it. Meandering is when your eyes are too big for your stomach. You're trying to take up more than you actually need, and it's just unrealistic and unhealthy. When we're stepping and pivoting around and circling, we only need to move as much as the thing that's going to hit us. If I only need to move my head as much as a boxing glove, then I actually only need to move my feet as much as a boxing glove in order for a boxing glove to miss me. That's assuming I didn't move my head at all. If I move my head, I only have to move my head half that much and my feet half that much. Generally, meandering comes from laziness and wanting to get more than we actually need. So we step, and then we bring this foot over and step. And people meander. They meander about. This one, and you'll see that left hand hang low, laziness. When they know that it's this that they're supposed to be doing, the problem is this takes a lot more steps to cover the same amount of distance. So we meander. If you are completely out of reach, then you could meander if you want to, but you might as well just walk. This is not an error. This is not a footwork mistake. Walking around away from your opponent's not a mistake. Meandering within range is. The other way is every beginner does this. All right? You're just meandering around tired, but you're trying to stay there. Maybe the mat's too packed. And you see their feet are not actually moving the way they're supposed to. They're moving right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, instead of left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. The problem is that this takes a lot more energy. Maybe I'm used to it from being a little dude, but I always have to take more steps to get the same effect as everyone else. But if the purpose is to fight the guy, I want to remain present, dangerous, balanced, threatening at all times. So I'm going to make sure that my feet stay organized, and I'm going left foot, right foot, by pushing off of this right foot to go to my left foot, or pushing off my left foot to go to my right foot, instead of meandering. Lumbering is just pure laziness. Pure laziness. Lumbering, this is lumbering. Imagine a lumbering beast. Lumbering is when I shift my weight onto this foot to lift weight off of this foot so that I can step and do that. Shift, step. It manifests like this. So they're technically not crossing their feet, but they're not really dangerous here or dangerous here. This, of course, I'm exaggerating it. It probably looks in real time more like this. This is fake. This is not real. You're just being lazy. But what about galloping? Galloping is when you're like, I'm about to show them. I'm about to show them I know how to fight good. It's the amateur shuffle. What is this? What is this? I don't know what this is. I'd rather you go like this. This is not a mistake, guys. Walking's not a mistake. Because if you can do this safely, if it's okay for you to do this, that means you could have done this. When I see amateurs and even professionals galloping across the ring because their opponent ran from them, I don't get it. Why don't you just walk over there? Because if I'm doing this because I'm trying to stay in my stance, it's because he could hit me or I might have an opportunity to hit him. If either of those are true, this does not serve that purpose. It doesn't serve the purpose of footwork. So either just walk over there and then get into range using your footwork, or if you are in range, it is exchange, move over there correctly, maintaining that threatening presence, being dangerous and balanced. No loitering. Hey, no loitering. What is loitering? It's hanging around with no real reason to be here. You have no purpose. Why are you here? Let's just say you've had a rousing exchange. Boom, boom, ha. I don't want to loiter. If I'm going to be here, I need to be doing something. I do my thing, ready to defend. I do my thing, ready to continue the exchange. Or I do my thing and I run. Run, don't loiter. If you're going to get on your bike, you got to fucking pedal. How this will manifest is beginners will do this and then they'll sort of bring their legs together. They might meander one way or the other and they don't actually leave. And I think it's partially because we don't want to really do this. That's a thing. You're going to do it anyway. You should do it. You should practice jackrabbiting around to get out of the way. Come here. I'm not a thirsty person. Come here. Get on this wall. So I got you on the wall. You're jammed up between all these bags and this wall or cars or people or ring posts and ropes, whatever. Your job is to circle off of this wall. That's what you want. And I'm trying to keep you from doing that. So if I follow you, I follow. Now look what's happened. Now I'm on the wall. Now I'm jammed up. What's supposed to happen is I know you want to get out of there, obviously. So we carve out that crescent shape with our feet, that half moon circle, the toenail clipping, as I call the kids' class. As you go to move, I'm going to cut you off. And you must come to me in this crescent shape and get boom, boom, wrecked up to here. Bow. Like that. Don't follow after them. Cut them off. Don't chase. I have been accused of bloviation in the past, but only with my words, never with my feet. Bloviating is when you talk a lot, but you're not saying a lot. Bloviating with the footwork is those guys that have a lot going on. They got the old ollie shuffle. They take the L step to nowhere. Just L stepping around for no reason. They're just trying to hog the spotlight. They just want it all. They want everything. They want to move around and do some stuff without ever actually doing anything. It's just empty. It's just air. This is one. It'll manifest when guys do a dramatic stance switch. Like maybe they're fighting orthodox and they're like, now I'm a southpaw, right? Like, I do not acquiesce. I do what I want. Acquiescence is one of the 7 deadly sins of footwork. It's when you're doing something and I'm like, hey, I want to do that too. So you start circling and I'm circling with you. And then you decide to change directions and I circle the other way. And I'm just like, hey, that looks cool. And you move forward and I move back. And then you move back and I move forward. And I'm just doing whatever you're doing. If your opponent is light on his feet, right, and he's doing a lot, maybe he's taking the L step to nowhere. You don't do that. You lock it down. Get strong, get sturdy. If he is strong and sturdy, you might need to move around a lot more. Unless you're better than him. If you choose to do what your opponent is doing, you use the movement patterns and methods that they're using, that only works if you are better than them at that thing. Do not use your opponent to get ideas about what you're supposed to be doing. Fuck what he's doing. You do what you're supposed to be doing. This is the footwork equivalent of spinning back fists. Even in the UFC, a guy will throw a spinning back fist, and then the other guy immediately throws a spinning back fist after, like, oh yeah, I remember, I'm supposed to do that. So that's the 7 deadly sins of footwork. Link in the description below to the advanced footwork techniques. It's a little mini guide. Just 4 quick techniques. They're fairly complicated and advanced. It might be unnecessarily complicated, honestly, but it's completely free. Also, they're all footwork techniques. They're mechanical, physical things you do with your feet. It's not a footwork strategy. It's mechanically how to move. The strategy you have to come up with on your own. The footwork as a strategy is your position relative to your opponent. That's the most important aspect of all combat. The techniques in the mini guide are just mechanically how to move around. If you want more fitness tips, self-defense techniques, gear reviews, as well as concepts and principles that make you hard to hurt, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications.